Hey everybody, it's Anna Charles here, and I just thought I would pop on this video to chat with you about coaching, because you might hear me often say book a discovery call with me to see if we're a good fit to work together. And I know people have said to me, Anna, what does that mean, and what do you do, and how could you help? And sometimes people are a little bit nervous or a little bit scared or even embarrassed, right? Don't know what coaching thing's all about. So I thought I'd just hop on and just talk about it a little bit. Now, the first thing to say is that this is not therapy. So you might be familiar with therapy, and therapy is a lot of talking about your past and looking about, the roots and why you are where you are today. We don't really do any of that, actually. I will take you where you are, your exact point in your life, and then you're going to tell me where you want to be, specifically with your relationship with alcohol. And then it is my job to help you get there, right? Whatever that means for you. And you may not even know how you want to be around alcohol. You might say, I really don't know, but you might just know something is off. That is incredibly common. Right, so we would chat about that. If you think that, okay, I'm going to get ready when I will feel ready, because if you're out there and you really think like I'm so interested in talking with you, Anna, I like your stuff, I like your podcast, I like your approach, but you're kind of waiting to feel ready. I want to offer, you will likely not feel ready ever. All right, readiness is a decision. Because we often think, I want to feel good about my decision, but our brains are wired for survival. And if you're going to step forward and say, I might do coaching, personal one-on-one coaching, your brain might be saying, no, bad idea, reverse, retreat, right? We don't know, this is scary. So I just want to offer that, right? That I think almost, I would say 100% of the people who hop on the call with me, and certainly those who then go on to work with me, probably something like 99%, are scared. They do not know for sure if this will work, right? They have all of the same questions as you, but they kind of back themselves. They back themselves to do it, and I back myself to do it, and that's when wonderful things happen. Now, in the coaching, I cover 4 main areas. We talk about your thoughts, and I really believe, right? I want you to believe that it is possible for you to change. I teach skills. So much of what we do here is skills. I want you just to consider that right now you are a skilled overdrinker. I'm going to teach you how to change those skills. We talk about purpose, about why you're drinking and what's showing up in your life, right? That creates that drinking relationship that you have. And then we are constantly, and this is the real fun bit, constantly stepping you into a new identity. Right, the identity of a person who is a take it or leave it drinker, who is someone who maybe quits entirely. I have clients who want to quit entirely, who just drinks at the weekend, who doesn't drink in response to emotion, however that shows up for you. And we layer and layer and layer on that each week. Now, how the coaching happens is we get together once a week on a Zoom call. Like this, we talk for 6 months, and I will never get you to do something you don't want to do. So one of my clients said she was really scared I was going to tell her from day one she just had to stop drinking, throw all the wine out of the house. Absolutely not. I do not do that, right? We work together. I will gently suggest goals for you, but this is about you changing your relationship with you. So we'll get on the call. I will learn about you. People tend to exhibit certain patterns of behavior. I have people who tend to only drink at home. I have people who always are drinking just to keep the celebration going. I have people who are drinking because they find it difficult with negative emotions. So however that shows up for you, I will though go into my huge catalogue. I've been many years now catalogue of tools, and I'm just going to hook out the ones that are relevant for you, right? So you're not going to have this overload. You've got to do all this stuff. I've got a very full life, and then I've got to do all this coaching work. So I'm going to curate it and create it for you so it works for your life. And then you're going to go out into the world and you're going to practice some things. I'm going to teach you some skills. We're going to, from the very first call, you're going to be out in the world with some new skills, and you're going to come back and I'm going to remind you who you are and who you're becoming, right? And we're going to go through all the fails. You will fail. We'll go through the fails. We'll go through the successes. One of the most fun things is that people sometimes come on the call and say, it's been an okay week, but nothing really amazing has happened. And then every couple of minutes they say, oh, I forgot to tell you this one thing. Oh, I forgot to tell you this, right? That they weren't drinking in response to emotion, that they turned down a drink, that they didn't want the drink, that they're starting to see themselves changing. So we will do that, and we will go through your time, you'll go out into the world and practice this, and we're going to come back and we will then forensically look through what is happening for you in your life. This is the beauty of personalized coaching. This is not some generic thing. This is all about you and all about your life. And it means we can be very, very targeted, and it's huge fun. I want you to consider this, right? I am building the path that you then walk along, but I am right there beside you every step of the way. We don't just do the weekly Zoom. I also do Voxer. It's kind of a walkie-talkie thing where you can send me messages through the week. Anna, what about this? Anna, what about that? And I will always get back to you, right? So we are together on this journey. I want you to consider this is much bigger than the wine. Of course, we are talking about, how do we reduce our consumption, but the calls very quickly become more than how do I just drink 2 glasses of wine when I go out with my friends. This is about self-trust. This is about how you see yourself. This is about who you want to be. This is about how you might be giving away your power to the alcohol. How you might be worrying about other people and what they think. How you're confidently showing up in life. So many things. It is not unusual when I work with clients that they go off and just make huge changes in their life. It doesn't have to be big job change. It might just be, okay, within the family unit, this is now how I see myself. And for them, that is a huge thing, right? Because we are changing our identity. Now, I actually decided to come on because I had a couple of coaching calls this morning. I'm about to go on to a coaching call, and I found this fantastic quote, and I just wanted to share it. It says, whatever you do in the next 12 months, just make sure you're not in the same place this time next year. Now, of course, we'll say, oh yeah, that sounds good. But this is more than words. I want you to seriously consider this. This is more than words. I want you to therefore do a little exercise. I want to show the value of coaching if you're up for it. I want you to right now, because with this idea of changing from year to year, because many of my clients have been struggling with this for years, as in for some people decades. So I want you to write down maybe could be just a top 10 list of all the things you're struggling with alcohol and how that's affecting your life. Maybe, so for me, one of the things would be I just fall asleep on the sofa. It would have been after dinner, about 8 o'clock every night for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then I'd wake up and go to bed, right? So that would be a problem statement. And I want you to imagine that you have the solution for that, because you will have the solution for that after we work together. And then I want you to then review your life today with as you have it, and then all of these solutions. And I want you to imagine you have those solutions in your life. That is what you get from coaching. That is the value. You will be a changed person. And this is so much fun. All right, so if you are interested in doing this, and if you just have a little hint, I think I might want to have this. I'm gonna be brave. Talk to me. I'm not scary. I don't work with everybody. My typical client are people who just sort of have their whole lives together. They're very, very accomplished, just have this one thing around drinking. So even if we chat on the discovery call, it does not necessarily mean, it will never mean that you have to work with me. And it may not mean that we would work together either if there isn't a fit there. But you won't know until you try. And what I promise you this is, when you leave the discovery call, whether you do decide to work with me or not, you will have the information you need to make the change. And it is fun. So you can go ahead and do that. Go to 90dayslater.co, and there's a book a call button that will give you access to my calendar. If you don't see anything you like there, it doesn't work, just email me, anna@90dayslater.co, or message me on Instagram. I'm the Drink Less Coach. Or you can get me on Facebook too, 90 Days Later with Anna Charles. All right, I just thought I'd hop on. This has been fun, and I really look forward to helping you and change your life. All right, bye-bye.